Tonight, energy leaders meet in Tumby Bay to discuss hydrogen production, and thousands head to Baskerville for the town's field day event.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. Global energy leaders have visited the Peninsula as talks continue to make South Australia a leading exporter of hydrogen energy. Officials holding a meeting in Tumby Bay this morning.
It's been dubbed the fuel of the future. Green, clean hydrogen energy soon to be produced right here on our doorstep.
Here in Australia, we actually got an opportunity to shape this new export industry. So to lead it in the early days and then keep expanding.
Today, the top players in Australia's hydrogen future visited the Peninsula, meeting with the local government. Japan's Global Energy Association inspecting the region.
This peninsula has a huge potentiality of the renewable energies, like a 20 gigawatt.
As Japan moves to a hydrogen-based economy, the renewable energy is in hot demand. Australian officials hoping to become Asia's lead exporter. Resource Minister Matt Canavan signing a deal with South Korea to develop our hydrogen industry.
Australia, we have a long-term trade relationship with coal, iron ore, and LNG.
The media were kept out of today's discussions, which are taking place behind closed doors. We're told, however, they're geared towards securing Australia's place as a leading exporter of hydrogen energy. Hydrogen Utility says has more than 40 gigawatts of untapped renewable power on the Peninsula.
So to put that in context, that's the entire size, not of the South Australian market today, but the whole NEM, the National Electricity Market, is about 50 gigawatts.
With a Port Lincoln hydrogen facility set to fire up soon and another larger facility on the cards at Cape Hardy, officials say our Peninsula's hydrogen boom is just about to begin.
This is a great potential to develop an industry which we haven't had before, to add to the depth of our economy.
Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A $7 million Whyalla Waste and Resource Station is a step closer to reality, with construction commencing today. Mayor Claire McLaughlin turning the first sod at a ceremony marking the occasion.
Shoveling towards a sustainable waste future, today marks a milestone for the multi-million-dollar Whyalla Waste and Resources Transfer Facility.
It is a milestone because this is a brand new, this is over $7 million spend in the construction of a state-of-the-art modern waste transfer station.
After 2 years of discussion and planning, this facility will take over from the Mount Laura Centre and will work to recover and store industrial and commercial waste.
Anything it takes Mount Laura you'll be able to bring out here, but we will recover it and it'll be as much as possible recovered for reuse.
For our future's sustainability in waste recovery, that we needed to look to build a brand new state-of-the-art facility.
Local jobs will be on the cards through the construction company Pascal, and also once the station is up and running.
The whole construction process will employ over 100 tradesmen and personnel, and we envisage that 40% of those people will be from Whyalla and the local region.
See exactly how much waste we're going to be taking through the gate. It'll be as a needs to basis, but there'll be 4 jobs created here straight up.
Construction is expected to finish May next year, with the first load of waste rolling out shortly after. Whyalla's mayor says it's a step forward for the city's sustainable future.
Recyclable services, it's going to be a benefit to not only industry, to the council, but also to our community.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill Police are urging those travelling over the school holiday period to take care on country roads. The warning comes as hundreds of interstate motorists pass through the Far West region.
The school holidays can be a dangerous time on our roads, with police on alert over the next fortnight. They'll be focusing on driver fatigue, urging travellers to take frequent breaks when driving long distance. Inspector Smith says taking the time to explore a country town they're passing through could be vital.
Just stop and have a look at what they've got in the town and, take it in the attractions while you're there. Don't just fly on straight through.
The warmer spring weather sees more people hitting the road. Safe driving on highways, another key message from officers, especially caravanners controlling their trailer and motorists overtaking road trains.
Make sure you've got plenty of time if you are going to overtake. You can see as far as you possibly can out. Don't overtake if there's a bend or a crest coming up where you can't see past them.
Police say they will be out in full force over the school holiday period as part of Operation Merit. They'll be targeting drink and drug driving, mobile phones, speeding and seatbelts.
Take it easy and plan long enough that you've got enough time to travel back without having to rush.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Tumby Bay is preparing to replace the town's causeway, with design plans being commissioned this week. Council says deterioration and the age of the infrastructure has forced the upgrade. The initial designs of the new causeway comes with a price tag of more than $1.5 million.
It's a core piece of infrastructure for Tumby Bay, making sure that into the future we're sustainable, and it's a replacement of a facility which is ageing.
Construction of the new road is expected to begin over the next 2 years. Last week's windy weather across our region has claimed another victim, with Port Augusta Council forced to close a west side pontoon due to damage. The council says the structure was battered by wind gusts of up to 80 kilometres an hour. It's restricted public access to the popular swimming and fishing point, while it awaits an assessment of the damage. Still to come tonight, gates open at the Baskerville Field Day, and Broken Hill Council set to elect a new deputy mayor. Welcome back. The gates have opened at Baskerville this morning for Australia's longest running field day. Thousands are set to visit the York Peninsula town for the 3-day event.
A sea of tents and farming machinery. This 30-hectare site has once again been transformed into the biggest show on the York Peninsula.
Yes, well, it is our 125th year of operation. It's the oldest field days in Australia and one of the biggest in the region.
This year's event bouncing back from a fire, which ravaged through the site's offices in February this year.
Yes, we found the fire was quite devastating at the time. We lost all of our equipment, all our office furniture and a lot of our historical record.
But the show must go on. The site's volunteers clocking in hundreds of hours to get the event up to standard. From food to motorbikes to heavy agriculture machinery, the 3-day event has something for everyone. For the next 2 days, all roads lead to the York Peninsula Field Days. An estimated 30,000 people will be entering the gates. The event a great opportunity for innovators in the ag sector to showcase the future of farming. Bruce Nutt happy to see an increase in foot traffic inspecting his new solar pump.
Yeah, today looks like it's going to be good. Yesterday wasn't as busy. Today looks like it's going to be very busy.
I take my hat off, figuratively speaking, to all the exhibitors that bring their wonderful collections of machinery.
The York Peninsula Field Days will come to an end at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Whyalla Young Tradespeople and Professionals Group have given men's mental health group INAT a huge funding boost, thanks to a record attendance of 148 people at their charity ball. President Kira Kennedy says the group is well deserving of the $7,258.
So we really wanted to help them get off the ground and raise awareness in the Whyalla community, but also to raise awareness for the cause. Men's mental health is not a taboo and men need to know that they can talk about their mental health.
INAT's members say the money will be put to good use. Broken Hill will elect a new deputy mayor this evening at council's monthly meeting. The current one will not recontest the role, saying it's time for a fresh face to take the reins.
For Marion Brown, her 2 years as Broken Hill's deputy mayor comes to an end tonight. The councillor saying it's time to take a break.
Being the mayor is a pretty arduous role, and I believe that the deputy mayor should be a support for the person in that role.
The position of Deputy Mayor is one of support and assistance, with an elected member holding the position for 12 months at a time. Should the Mayor be unable to perform her role, the Deputy takes the reins.
To play first grade, if you know what I mean, to actually be there and to represent the great city of Broken Hill. it's a fantastic role, and I wish whoever it is tonight the best.
Councillor Brown says her time in the role has been a great honour, from attending local events, presenting awards and representing the city at interstate functions. It's an exciting experience.
There are a number of possible things that can happen. It just depends on circumstances what you actually have to do.
Councillors Christine Adams and Tom Kennedy will likely contest the Deputy Mayor vote. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The Child Protection Department has celebrated the efforts of foster carers at an event in Port Augusta today. It says more carers are desperately needed to meet a growing demand of children in need.
In 2007, Nicole Cugley made one of the biggest decisions of her life, taking the plunge to become a foster carer. Now 12 years and 2 foster children later, she hasn't looked back since.
We can give a young person in care some stability, some consistency.
Despite the daily challenges of being a foster parent, she says the move has strengthened her whole family, in particular the children in her care.
Yeah, they've had some rough times in their life, but that doesn't need to define them, and that they can go on and achieve anything.
Nicole is one of more than 100 foster and kinship carers in Port Augusta who are today recognised for their service.
We're acknowledging the great work that they provide and the fact that they are totally committed to the children they have living with them.
Facing a growing number of young people entering the system, the Department for Child Protection is in desperate need of more helping hands.
We look for as many as possible. We want children who come into care to be in a family-based placement.
Lobby groups say there is plenty of help to support carers in their new life.
If a carer is feeling supported in what they're doing, then they're going to provide a wonderful environment for a child.
Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Snowtown Primary School students have put their literacy and numeracy skills to the test. They've hosted an amazing race, giving children a chance to use their knowledge outside the classroom.
Math, science and English. No subject was left behind at Snowtown Primary School's amazing race.
Based loosely on the television show, The Amazing Race. We're not quite as dangerous as that though. But we do ask them a few tricky questions.
The entire school taking part in the day-long event.
Go to stations and stop, and we answer questions or do activities.
The principal saying it's important to think outside the box when it comes to education.
It's really important that they see that their skills in literacy and numeracy apply beyond the classroom, so they really look forward to what challenges they're going to face.
Students keeping their eyes on the array of prizes up for grabs.
People get a prize and at the end they give out awards.
All ages were welcome to join the fun, including mum and dads. However, the teaching staff have come up with a solution to even the playing field.
Going to have to wear handcuffs to left and right hand, and then their left and right feet were going to be tied together with stockings.
Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. We'll take a look at the region's fuel prices, and I'll have the latest on the weekend's weather. Hello again. The Whyalla Go-Kart Club is welcoming community members to a Come and Try Day this Sunday from 10 a.m. The day will give locals the opportunity to drive a go-kart, with members of the club available for mentoring and safety guidance. All ages are invited to take part in the event. Time now for a look at how things are shaping up at the Bowser. Here's Patrick Reinke with Fuel Watch.
Despite a couple of towns going against the trend, most prices are going up. Starting with unleaded, and Port Lincoln and Port Augusta are the only two centres that have seen a drop. Lincoln is down to $1.48, Augusta still pricey at $1.55 but down 4 cents. Port Pirie is back into the 140s after seeing a 4 cent spike. Kadina is also on the rise. Here in Broken Hill the price has jumped as well and joins Whyalla on $1.49. Adelaide motorists are paying almost 40 cents more than last week. The City of Churches is averaging a stifling $1.65. 25. Switching to diesel now, there's a fair bit of movement. Despite the changes, 2 or 3 cents separates the entire Spencer Gulf. Port Lincoln and Whyalla paying the most at $1.50, Kadina the cheapest at $1.48. Broken Hill is a bit dearer at $1.54, Adelaide hovering in the mid-40s. Finishing off with a look at auto gas, Whyalla and Port Lincoln are both on 92 cents a litre, Port Augusta 89, Broken Hill 87, Kadina and Port Pirie are at 84 cents after Pirie saw a drop. The price in the city just 75 cents. Now remember that these prices are the regional averages and they do not reflect any one particular outlet. And also a reminder to stay safe on the roads if you are travelling for the school holidays, and if you do find a spot that does sell unleaded, auto gas or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Weather now, and it's been a mostly sunny day about the region. Port Augusta reached 25 degrees, Port Pirie 23, Broken Hill 22, Whyalla 21, Adelaide 19 and Port Lincoln 17. From the satellite we can see a little bit of cloud about, but the skies have remained relatively clear thanks to a high pressure. On the waters tomorrow, northerly winds tending norwesterly, seas around 1 metre, and sunrise will take place at 6 minutes past 6. We can expect a bright and sunny day tomorrow with maximum temperatures up to 7 degrees above average. Port Augusta looking at a top of 29 degrees, Woodna 28, Whyalla and Port Pirie 27, Quorn and Cleve 26, Broken Hill 25, Port Lincoln, Kadina and Adelaide 24, Coffin Bay and Clare both 23 degrees. And taking a look further ahead, fine and partly cloudy conditions expected at Port Lincoln on Friday, with similar conditions heading into the weekend. Cleve looking at a top of 18 on Friday, slightly warmer Saturday and Sunday. Woodna with fine but mild conditions expected Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Whyalla and Kadina cooling down slightly on Friday, looking partly cloudy across the weekend. And Port Augusta will sit in the mid to late 20s over the coming days. Fine and partly cloudy conditions in Port Pirie on Friday continuing through the weekend. Clare partly cloudy Friday and Saturday, with morning frost on Sunday. And Broken Hill will reach a top of 29 on Friday, staying fine and dry across the weekend. And that's the local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have some updates later in the evening, but until then, enjoy your evening. On behalf of the team, it's good night.